Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Adventures in Asheville show, featuring Steve and Karen Wilson, owners and innkeepers of the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. So everybody, it is fall in Asheville, and this is one of the most amazing times to visit Asheville and Western North Carolina. You know, we're here every first Tuesday with Steve and Karen, Mr. and Mrs. Wild, who own and run the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in the Montford Historic District, which for the Halloween season, this is an epic place to be. But welcome back. Hey, Karen, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing good. Are the fall colors at the Lion and the Rose?
There is some color starting in the higher elevations, so it's a matter of a few weeks before we will see it here.
Cool. Yeah. So I've seen some photos you've been posting on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm like, oh, man, I really wish we were there. It is gorgeous. It is so good that the parkway is open for everyone. So Chimney Rock State Park is open. So there's no excuse to not go to Asheville. I'm just saying. But we have another reason for you to go to Asheville. Yes. And, you know, we love all these different reasons. We have Jennifer Johnson Brown joining us. She runs and operates JJ Brown Productions, and you can go to jjbrownproductions.com. As always, the links are in the episode notes. But she knows how to scare the, you know what, off of us. Right, Jennifer? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I do. I'm just your friendly neighborhood murder girl. That's all I am.
If you suddenly disappear on this podcast, you never know. She might have gone into the vortex, you know, because apparently Asheville has a vortex.
Yeah.
We don't want you disappearing quite yet, but yeah, tell us a little bit about your productions, because this is like a year-round, you know, thing that you do, murder mysteries, guided paint experiences. Ooh, what's that? Like, what is that? I want to do that.
Well, different locations can book me, or even I have another artist that I work with that teaches hand lettering, and we literally do just a step-by-step guided paint class. I mean, that's something we do on occasion, but our biggest pull that we do is with murder mysteries, and we have two different kinds of murder mysteries that we do. We have one that is an interactive murder mystery, and that is where everyone who attends gets their own character, and they get to work with the other people that are there at the event to determine who killed who and why. And it's a lot of fun. My other type of murder mystery event is an immersive actor show, and that's where I bring actors in and they have kind of a set script, and then they go out into the audience once we've kind of done our little scenes, and the audience gets to interrogate them, and they just have a lot of fun doing it. But for both versions of my murder mysteries, you're competing for top detective. So they're competing against one another to see who's going to have the right answer in the end. And after every murder mystery, when we're done, we hand out the top detective prize, which is a beautiful laminated certificate, a wonderful little trophy, and they get 2 free tickets to another JJ Brown Productions event in their area.
Awesome. Now, when you say in your area, what is your area that you cover beyond Asheville?
Well, we literally go from mountains to coast. So we have Asheville, obviously, and in Hendersonville. And then we're in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Raleigh, Fayetteville, Charlotte, Mount Holly. And there's a lot of different places that will reach out to have private parties and stuff. So I'll go to people's houses and do things like this. So it's just, you know, pretty much wherever the wind blows me.
All right. Well, now, what about when, I know Steve and Karen at the Lion and the Rose, you do accept like families and groups, like a family reunion and things like that, where they rent the entire bed and breakfast, you know, for a weekend or even midweek. And by the way, I think if you're there for long enough, you get your own mini keg, right? Am I right about that?
You do.
Steve brews beer at the inn. You know, it's not just breakfast. There's beer, because it's beer
Right.
USA. Okay, so it's very important to have Steve's brew. It is. It is always good. His breakfast is always outstanding. And you never know what's inside those wonderful brownies or chocolate chip cookies that Karen makes. You never know when we're talking about. I'm just kidding. They're delicious. And I know it's a little wine in them. That's what I'm talking about. So they're always good. But when these kind of groups come in, is that something that you could do where you could play murder at the bed and breakfast in the historic Montford district that has a cemetery, a very historic cemetery, a couple blocks behind them? So this is
Right.
Absolutely, we
Yep.
can do that. And I have hundreds of different themes for the interactive shows where everyone gets their characters. And then most of the time, if a location wants something other than one of the actor shows that we have written, then I can write another one because my husband and I are our creative partners and we will write most all of our actor shows ourselves.
See, I just want to tell you how talented Jennifer and her creative partners are because she just magically got Uncle Ted on the show. Uncle Ted, we all love Uncle Ted. He's from Grayline Trolley Tours. He's also a musician. And welcome back, Uncle Ted. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back on your show. Thank you for having me.
Glad you could make it.
We're all excited about this. Jennifer was just telling us all about her murder mystery productions, which I think, now, come on, can't you do that on a trolley, Jennifer?
Sure could.
Well, we'd be glad to have you.
Great.
That'd be fun.
Murder on a trolley. Because you could, we could, yeah, we like anything, gory, but I wanted to also touch base that what's going on with Frank Sinatra? Is that something too that people should know about?
Yeah, I do have one of the performers that I contract occasionally. We do have him. His name is Tracy Bentley, and his stage name is Sinatra Tracy. He has actually competed in the World Frank Sinatra Impersonation Contest and came in third, his very first time doing it. So we're pretty proud of that.
That's cool. And you also have comedians too.
Yeah.
We like humor.
We do have a couple of comedians. My husband is our main one right now. His name is Mark Brown. He is a Mayberry squad car driver, and he has written a little show about being a Mayberry squad car driver and tells some of the funny stories that he's had happen.
Wow.
That's fun.
That's a new one. That is super fun. So Jennifer, in Asheville, what can people look forward to, for the rest of the fall and into the holiday season? What kind of productions that people can go and be part of, especially if they want to murder someone,
We just wrapped up this past Saturday up at Mars Theater Brewing. We did our Vampires Ball, which was a lot of fun because it was circus themed. When we're going to be back in Asheville again, will be Saturday, October the 11th, and we're doing a Yas Biatch. It's murder, and that is a drag murder mystery that we're using as a fundraiser for Blue Ridge Pride. We do that at Ginger's Revenge. I partner with Ginger's Revenge a lot there in Asheville to do murder mysteries. And then we'll be back with an ugly sweater themed murder mystery in December.
I love that.
Yeah, super fun, super fun. So all the way to the holidays and get into the festive spirit. I saw something about ugly sweaters, that's cool.
Oh yeah, we'll do the ugly sweater murder mystery in December. That's a lot of fun. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I just pull out any of my sweaters and they go right with it. They all have red wine stains on them, so people are already going to think I'm murdered and just came back to life,
My kind of woman right there.
That's how it rolls. Well, we appreciate you joining us and giving us some insight of what to expect. And everyone go to jjbrownproductions.com. You can see all the events listed there. And then, I love this idea of families getting together and friends getting together to rent the entire, bed and breakfast, The Lion and the Rose out for like a murder mystery and things like that, because you want something memorable. When families come together, something interactive, maybe it's a girls group, that kind of thing.
Party.
Oh yeah. Kill the bachelorette. Yeah. Why not? So those are really fun activities and when you can do it right there, it's so easy. That's so nice to just do it right at the end. So, and what the perfect setting, right? You can play haunted house for sure. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Thank you guys
thank you,
so much for having me. Thank you, Miss Lisa. You guys all down there at the Rose and Lion. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you in just a few weeks.
Cool.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Now let's get on the trolley tour, because this is one of the first things that we did to celebrate fall. A couple years back, we did the holiday trolley tour. There's a Christmas tour. There's a ghost tour. And it just, in general, there is the hop on and hop off trolley tour all through Grayline Trolley Tours. You can go to graylineasheville.com. So, Uncle Ted, it's been a while, but it's so good to hear you back on the show. And How's
Mhm.
everything going with the trolley? Are the wheels still going round and round?
Well, the wheels are still going round and round, and as we say, today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today, and that's how we go to work.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding our economy, as I'm sure you're well aware, but the ghost tour has been running through the season from Monday through Saturday. We give the
Mhm.
spirits a rest on Sunday, but I will tell you that it's been extremely active since our autumn breeze about a year ago. I know
Really?
talked about the hurricane. Well, here's what's happened in Asheville. Asheville's a very sacred place. We sit in a bowl,
Mhm.
and the city sits on top of a crystal vortex, and it's in a perfect cross. Not a Christian
Right.
cross, but like a crosshairs on a gun sight. The crystal is almost 95% pure. Now think about that for a minute because it's under a lot of pressure. And crystal that pure under a lot of pressure gives off a lot of electromagnetic waves that we think attract a lot of paranormal activity. All right. When the hurricane came through, we had to close Riverside Cemetery because some graves came up. And you can't just turn around and dump people in any old grave.
Whoa.
I mean, you got to put them back where they belong.
Right.
Really? I didn't know that happened.
Also, yeah, it was closed. You couldn't go in the cemetery. I think it's reopened now.
It has. I think a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I see Barney sometimes down at the Masonic Lodge, and I think he told me it had opened back up. But in the course of all that, we also lost a crematorium on the river that was washed away before people had a chance to go down and collect the ashes of their loved ones.
Wow.
Do you understand what I just said?
Yeah. So the spirits are loose.
People did not get laid to rest.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter how you approach your spirituality. I mean, Asheville's home to Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and the Wiccans are here. So if something's troubling your soul, we're the right place to be because we got somebody can help you. I guarantee it. But every religious group has talked about the spiritual unrest in Asheville since that hurricane.
Yeah.
Every one of those groups has talked about that. And so I mean, we're not trying to exploit that, but I'm just saying that on the ghost tours, no matter who's doing them, there's been an awful lot of activity, and you should see some of the pictures that people are getting in different places. Now, my wife works for HCA over at the Care Partners. So after about the fourth day without power and water, they moved us into the Renaissance, and I did some driving to move doctors and nurses around, and then she was working. But the tree that came down over at the Thomas Wolfe house, if you could have seen it, it looked like the tree wrapped its arms around that house to keep it protected. Because the house has already gone through an arson back in 1998. And when they cut the tree back and pulled it out, one of the engineers said, boy, if that tree hadn't fallen in just the right way that it did, there were other things that could have really structurally hurt this house. I wish you could have seen it at that time. But a lot of pictures have been taken there. A lot of pictures up in the old Highland Hospital. A lot in and around that people came in once the cemetery opened back up. I'm not in that cemetery after dark, by the way, and there's certain places I don't go. I'm a storyteller. I'm not a ghost hunter. I want everybody on this show to understand that I'm not a ghost hunter. But if you start researching stories, sometimes things attach, whether you mean them to or not. So it is I mean, if people are coming, the pink lady up at the Grove Park Inn has been extremely frisky. She's not out to hurt you, but she does like to play a lot of tricks. And I'm going to tell you, she has been up to her trickery over the summer with things that people have told us, and even people working up there.
Interesting.
I mean, if you're coming to Asheville at this time of year and you're wanting to do a ghost tour, come ride with us. Do one of the do anything that you're going to do down here. But I'm telling you, Asheville is like a carnival on Saturday night.
Wow. What about the street downtown that you took us on the trolley where you said like from a disaster years ago? Was it, I don't know if it was yellow fever or smallpox or something, where all these people are buried under the road?
1908, the Spanish flu came through, and the city said nobody else going to be buried inside the city limits. and they went down on Church Street, right there where Central United Methodist Church is, First Presbyterian Church, and Trinity Episcopal, and made them move their graveyard. Now, those people were already dead. I don't know why that was going to help, but the city has a reputation of going with the lowest bid all the time, you know. And so all the headstones got moved. All the headstones got moved, but not all the bodies. Each one of those churches down there on Church Street has a granite block inside dedicated to the people left behind. And you know what they call those people, don't you? I mean, other than dead, foundation members.
Ted, Uncle
I know that's
Ted.
awful bad. That's bad, but you know.
That's a very good dad joke, right? That's an Uncle Ted joke now. Well, I want to tell people October 26th, I just learned this today, so I thought I'd just pass it on to everyone. October 26th is Visit a Cemetery Day. And I love this. We want to protect our cemeteries across the country because depending on where they are, they're going into ruin. It's just like, trying to get our parks funded. It's a very difficult thing. And, it's obviously things have changed because of cremations and things like that. So the way we are laid to rest, not as many people are getting plots like before. You can actually now be buried in a mushroom coffin, which I think is cool because then so that you decompose and the coffin decomposes.
You decompose and you feed the land. That's what
exactly. And you'll be magical at the same time. It's a magical experience.
Wow.
But yeah, so things have changed. But going to these cemeteries, like the one behind the inn, Riverside, is like where Thomas Wolfe was buried and O. Henry. And just go there and just look up some of the names, and you'll find people who did extraordinary things in history. And Asheville has extraordinary, just the people that have flocked to Asheville over the years. And I think it's that vortex, Uncle Ted, how people first came to Asheville,
Well, the creative has always been here. The creativeness for writers, for musicians, for playwrights, for people from all walks of life. And I mean, it does go back to a lot of how Asheville was founded and what happened after the war because, we got readmitted into the Union pretty early, which was rare for a southern state. And that put us back in the central banking system pretty quick. So a lot of northern businessmen who were looking to invest in the South after the war looked to North Carolina specifically because we were part of the central banking system. And they're not going south to a state that's not part of the central banking system because they don't make money by being stupid. And so that deal helped us a great deal in recovery after the war and attracted, when Vanderbilt starts building this house out here, all of a sudden you've got some of the top people in architecture, art, industry. I mean, Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone are palling around in Asheville up at the Grove Park Inn and going to concerts at the Biltmore.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, for a little bitty southern town, and that's what we were. We were a town. We weren't really a city at that point. I mean, we got some pretty heavy hitters hanging around up here. F. Scott Fitzgerald, Ernest Hemingway, Thomas Wolfe, and then you got Louis Pasteur coming out here to look at Vanderbilt's herd to say, well, how do we really make this raw milk consumable in a bigger way? Things that are on the cutting edge of moving us into, I guess, a better lifestyle. I mean, these people are here.
Well, I wanted Ford and Firestone being friends, and that was the very beginning of road tripping. Ford and Firestone, and then I think it was Edison, because I keep saying Einstein. It was Edison.
Yeah, Edison was up there.
Yeah, Edison did it, and they had a naturalist. And they went on a road trip, and I think they did touch in Asheville. And they actually, because of this, there was this book that was written about their first road trip. And this is how we ended up with historic highways and routes and things like motels with, all the Art Deco stuff and everything that came through when people started road tripping. And this is such huge history. That's how we ended up with tire shops on the way. They were like, Firestone was going, no, we need a gas station. We need this. I mean, this is when they first had cars. Like, Ford was like, let's push this limit. It's kind of like when you watch Seinfeld and Kramer decided to see how far you can go on the red when the red hits the gas tank. But now look at now fast forward, look at the Blue Ridge Parkway, and Teddy Roosevelt helped with that. And then you've got to look at all these scenic drives you can take, and the trolley. With the trolley, who came first, the car or the trolley? Ding, 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 goes up. Sorry.
The trolley came first, and here's an interesting story. I'm going to tell this because it's in the past. It's funny, but tire manufacturers partnered with car manufacturers to buy up trolley lines, streetcar lines, and cable car lines, not to run them, to shut them down and stimulate the sale of individual automobiles. And it sure did work. I mean, it worked because look at all the cars. And the interesting thing is, our trolley tour rides over the old trolley line, and the trolley tracks are still there. They're under the street. When they were doing the work on the road in Montford, we had tourists walking over there taking pictures of the hole in the road because you could still see the trolley tracks.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine? What are you going to take about? What you see on your vacation? This hole in the road, and in it is a set of trolley tracks. Oh, Lord.
Well, that is about good marketing, right? That is where people wonder how things shifted. Well, this is when, people with big money can make things change. Like I always tell this story about this guy who was really good at like the best salesperson, and he was in advertising, and, everything was shifting in books, and there was a publishing issue at getting books into houses. And so his way, instead of promoting them and having authors on the radio or anything, I mean, we're talking way, way ago, when they started doing housing, like suburbs started having all the same houses and stuff, he went into all the builders of these contractors for these big developments of homes and said, hey, we'll pay you a little extra if you put in built-in shelves in the house. So then that made people buy books because they had bookshelves. They were forced into it.
Right.
Look at that. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
It's that crazy. It's cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy the way that works.
Wow.
But it did stimulate the sale of books and move things along, which was good.
Yeah.
I want to jump ahead for just a second, if I may, because we are running our Christmas tour, ghost tour, through the first 2 weeks of November. And then because of demand, we're going to start back with the Christmas tour the third week in November. And what is making us so unique is that people don't carol anymore,
Yeah.
And so on our Christmas tour, we tell the Christmas stories of Asheville, tying together the 5 cultures that built. There's more than that now, but the 5 basic cultures that built us, which were the Cherokee, the Celtic culture, the Scottish and Irish, the Black culture, the Jewish culture, and the Greek culture. And then we tell about their traditions, and then we sing carols on there, and it's been a lot of fun because people don't go out and carol anymore.
Right.
And they want to write and they want to do this. I mean, full disclosure, I wrote the script on it. It is literally the most fun tour that we do at Grayline. It is literally the most fun tour that we do.
Love it.
And
I love the trolley tours. I mean, and Karen, I think you and Steve have to get on that ghost tour because I come on, I know you have those camera settings that you can get ghosts on.
Oh yeah.
Come on, we want ghost hunting. Come on.
Definitely. I'm fascinated now. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's been fun to do that. Like I say, I researched the stories, and a lot of people helped to write the scripts. I wrote the original Christmas script, but then I've also been a contributor to the ghost tour, and then we've had other people contribute to the Christmas tour and our historical tour. As we find out more and as other things happen, we add to it and do the research on it. And Grayline it's been the #1 tour company worldwide since 1916, and they are very exacting in when they're vetting your scripts and stuff. And so you're looking at it, trying to get the things right. Our ghost tour is a little different because we relate it to actual things that happened and relate people back to the newspaper articles and the books where it came from. And so it's a little bit different, but we want to convey that we are open for business. We are Asheville. We're still recovering, but here's what happened this past week. Thursday last week, the Marquee down there in the River Arts District held their grand reopening.
Yes,
And that's
it
in the
did.
lower part. There's nothing been in the lower part since the hurricane. The upper part's open.
Right.
But that was the first thing coming back, and they had over 1,300 people come to the grand reopening, and I was just delighted about that. So
yeah,
I guess one thing I want to convey is that we're our economy probably right now is still hovering around 40-45%, but it's growing every day, and we hope people will come. We just want them to come.
And
right.
this is the season, right, Karen? Because like you're saying,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know this airs on the first Tuesday, so it's October 7th. So fall colors are still around for people in October, Karen?
Yeah, I mean, we will be at peak through most of October. You'll be able to find color depending on the elevation. So even into November, we'll see how it ends up this year. But what we've seen so far looks nice and colorful, nice and bright.
And you can still see waterfalls.
Yeah, it's coming on, and it'll be going probably through the end of November.
Yeah, it might be later this year. Yeah,
Might be later.
People book your rooms, book your trolley tours. Go get your tickets for some murder mystery. Go drink some beer, eat some good food. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get to this. Really important. Okay. I'm going to ask each of you because I like to ask these questions. I want the perfect fall day or evening, just a fall day that you just go, this is awesome. It's awesome fall adventures, autumn in Asheville, but this is the epitome of the perfect fall day. So you can have dinner or a rooftop cocktail. So let's go to you first, Uncle Ted. What is your perfect fall day in Asheville?
Well, I like to get out on the trails, and one of my favorite places to go is out there in the Turkey Creek area, and it is or Turkey Pen. It is open, and to have a good start out early, a good stout cup of coffee, and then get out on the trail early, and then come back into Asheville, maybe hit one of the breweries or stop by Jack of the Wood or the beer garden or Barley's and have a flight of beer and sample some of that, maybe hear some good music or play some good music and let that go into the evening. I love that because it samples a lot of what we're known for.
Have you been performing lately, Uncle Ted?
We have been. The band is I got to tell you this story. We went down to our warehouse where we keep our sound and light system and everything, and when I rolled up into the lot, the warehouse on the left, a tree had gone completely through it and it was destroyed. And the one on the right, the river came through. When we finally got the trees cut back and opened the garage door, we had about an inch and a half of mud on the floor, but all of our equipment had been in anvil road cases and in the trailer. So we pulled the trailer out. We hosed it off at a car wash, take all of our PA over to Asheville High School. They let us in there to set it up in their auditorium. And there's no better feeling than flipping the switch and everything comes on and it works. So we lost 22 dates, but we were able to go back to work at Canoga Conference Center, which is the Episcopal Conference Center in Henderson County, for their Thanksgiving weekend, which we always do the big square dance out there. We did that. Then we're able to go out to the Feed and Seed in Fletcher and play that. And then we did all of our Christmas shows, which we've written a Christmas show that we have showcased, and it's on YouTube if you want to go look at it. It's Whitewater Bluegrass Company Christmas show.
All right.
Which we did at Waynesville First United Methodist Church. And then through that, we've been able to book about 4 or 5 of them through this Christmas season. And we're going to be up at the Madison County Arts Council on December the 20th. And that's going to, the rest of them we're doing for a lot of different Methodist churches, but we've been back out and working and having a great time. And it's the thing where you just have to let people know you're still in business and you just go out and book. But being a third generation square dance caller in my family doesn't hurt the band because we can work the dance circuit, and that has helped us a great deal. So we're still doing that. But pulling that equipment out and going to Asheville High and flipping that switch and having all of that stuff work, including the light system, I'm just hollering and yelling like a kid.
That is awesome.
I graduated from Asheville High, and I haven't traveled that far because the principal comes in, hears us holler, and wants to know what's going on in there, which happened to me a lot when I was in school there. I haven't really progressed that far.
That's funny. That is funny. I mean, but that is so cool that it happened,
That is.
that it's all safe. And because replacing gear just is it's expensive, but there's just certain things about the gear that you have that, like you have, like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's like a certain tone that exactly what knob to push where for a specific thing. And it's like getting something new
that's
could, like,
nail on the head.
But it's like your buddy. It's like, like your guitar has this specific, it's like it has character. And so that's why you must name everything, because they're your buddy.
Yes, and all my basses are named, all my guitars are named. And sometimes I wonder if in the search for the perfect sound, did I trade away the best sound I ever had? I don't know if you ever feel that way about your instrument. But sometimes I wonder that.
Man, that's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Karen, what is your perfect fall day? I know that you and Steve love music, so I know music's got to be in there.
Yeah, pretty similar to Uncle Ted, honestly. Anything outdoors, going looking for some color, going out on a hike to kind of just enjoy, while the weather's still nice, perfect to be outside. Then go somewhere for, usually after a hike, we do after hike beer, so something like that, and then definitely try to find some music.
Very cool. Very cool. So a lot going on in Asheville. There's just no end to what you can do. Everyone's links are in the episode notes, everyone. And as you know, go stay at the Lion and the Rose. Are you putting the motel sign up? Bates Motel sign up? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. That is tradition. That Bates Motel sign missed it last year, and it wants to be back in the window. So when trolleys go by, you can see the Bates Motel. Steve and Karen are excellent at dressing up for Halloween, so we're waiting for that. We want those pictures. You already did one as Chucky, right? And you guys are doing a dress up, so we're waiting for more pictures. And it's the Montford District really does do its get up for Halloween and also for, Christmas. So it's really a nice place to stay and stroll the streets. There's restaurants right there. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just keep talking about you.
That's all right.
So keep talking.
I know,
exactly.
but I love it. I love it there, and I miss it. It feels really weird to not be in Asheville. It's like, a few months and you're like, what happened, So yeah, I think everyone go enjoy Asheville for the fall. It is beautiful, and the people are awesome, and they really, like, Uncle Ted is saying, everyone's open for business, and they really would appreciate your business. Last year when the hurricane came through, it was right at a time that is when a lot of people do come and visit Asheville. It's the biggest season. And so that really hurt business across the city. And so just go there, spend a few nights, have a good time, get your holiday shopping done early so you don't get all crabby when you're supposed to, like, oh my gosh, I didn't get so-and-so a gift. And then you're doing the big box stores who don't have that warm feeling as a mom and pop shop, or going to a boutique that, am I doing good yet?
You're doing great.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. So, and then you can have beer in between your shopping, or you can have champagne. Where's the champagne place with book? We're talking about books, right? So if you have a book in your house.
Yeah, the book exchange. Exchange.
And you can have champagne and books. There's record stores talking about music. To me, if you're going to shop, you get to sip and have a couple bites in between, do a little walking and more sipping, more eating, more walking. There's parking everywhere, And don't forget, when you get to Church Street, you're walking on dead bodies. So how perfect for Halloween. What a nice way to close that off. I was doing really well until I got to that. Well,
that's all right.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much. I know Steve is off running around somewhere. Thank you, everyone, again. We're here every first Tuesday, so stay tuned. You can also, I've got the link in the episode notes where you can dig into past episodes covering fall. There's just so much. So thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on Big Blend Radio's Adventures in Asheville show. Learn more about the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast, which is located in the historic Montford district of Asheville, North Carolina. Go to lion-rose.com. You can keep up with our Big Blend radio shows at bigblendradio.com.